How's it doing? So I'll try and explain this because the title might be a bit on the side of the video what I'm trying to say. So you know when me hole and Leo and the rest of his cronies go on Twitter or go on Facebook or whatever and post the post or tweet out or whatever. It's funny to see the blue ticks or in other words government NGOs and people like that. Government NGOs, journalists, state paid OT journalists, the Jonah.ie, your basic newspapers, things like that, Irish newspapers. They're always like, oh, me hole, you're doing such a great job, me hole. The country wouldn't be, the country's very, very lucky to have you, me hole. But they don't use that to say, Mr. Your Majesty, him, home at, me hole, me man, me. I'm trying to think of a royal name. Mia Martin. His Majesty Michael Martin. Michael Martin. Oh, right, then we go with it. No, but you get what I mean. Journalists, and this is the thing I want to try and say, journalists shouldn't be licking up the politicians, shouldn't be saying, oh, good job. Well, if they do a good job, fair is fair. You say, well done, they're doing a good job, whatever they bring in or whatever they take away from the people, you say, good job. But yeah, these government, journalists, really what they are, because they have been paid by the state. Again, it looks very suspicious. They're always on, they're always on the government account and always like, oh, the government's great, this, that, and the other. 16 people dead in Dublin. Leo goes to, again, is this kind of thing. It's the same with the time Paulson stopped to talk to Simon Harris. Now, I think he was given out when he was on the quad or whatever, he was talking about COVID. Bloody OT wanted like flies on shit. They couldn't get enough of it. They just spin the narrative, and then when there's somebody dies in the Dublin street in Dublin, because they couldn't afford to survive, and they were living on the street for 2 or 3 months, 3 years maybe, God forbid. OT just says, we'll go and follow Leo till he's trying on his shoes, because there seems to be this thing with journalists, like what the fuck, seriously, like what the fuck, do we pay journalists? Like, it comes out of our wages. Why the fuck do we bother to buy newspapers and things like that when they go and follow Leo around a fucking shoe shop and watch him trying on his clown shoes? It just doesn't make sense. Again, there's bigger stories to be covered than Leo's shoes. Again, this goes back to this. Journalists should be completely independent. And shouldn't be funded by the state. First of all, shouldn't be funded by the state. Shouldn't be anything such state-funded media. It should be completely independent. Journalists should be in the middle. Shouldn't be for the government. Shouldn't be against the government. But should be neutral. Should be neutral. But many journalists in this country, it's fair to see that they won't really denounce the government. Now with the Goffgate, they were a bit fucked, to be honest. They couldn't really do anything. The journalists were like, oh, it's a disgrace. But then a few days later, oh, Miho, you do a great job. Your government have done a great job for the whole country. This kind of shit. Then when Goffgate started, they were like, oh my God, Miho, what have you done to the people? And then 10 days later, they couldn't care less about the people. Again, this is the journalists. This is going on into the journalism, and there's not really much in there's a good few independent journalists online, but if you look into the Jonah.ie, if you look into them places, you wouldn't find an independent journalist to save your life. Because again, these are all government funded. Always get this. All these newspapers get government funding. I'm very fond, very positive. OT's government funded, definitely 100%. OT, what would we do without OT in this country? This country would not know anything. But then again, it'd be better probably off not knowing anything than listening to OT, because my God, the spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. Like, spin yarn. It might as well spin yarn. Because, just as half of the things they talk about, are the opposite of what's happening. Like, they wouldn't talk about anything, anything that's happening, that's seriously happening in this country, that's affected this country. Take, for example, the homeless crisis in Dublin. They do a U-turn, they talk about Donald Trump, they try and get... OT is obsessed. Again, this is the thing I said before about OT. OT is completely obsessed with make Joe Biden look like a saint compared to Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump, they literally go through him. Donald Trump does a great job again. He does a great job in keeping the media in its place, and annoying the fuck out of them because he does the opposite of what they want him to do. Like, it's not like here. They know what the media have the questions for Leo and Mihol all read out to them and everything. Not even one mistake. Over there, Donald Trump, he wouldn't fucking listen to me. He just ignored him. He might say do the interview and then he wouldn't go and do it. That's just the type of me, just annoyed the fuck out of him. And OT didn't like that. The time he called over the OT reporter when he was on the phone to Leo Varadkar, OT didn't like that because, more or less treating her like a child. Treating her like a child, just come over here. Again, OT just kept spinning the narrative. Look at this man treating her like a child. OT, probably there was a big story probably done on OT about it, about Donald Trump treating her bad, whatever. OT, I wouldn't trust them, I'll just say straight. But yeah, this is turned into OT whack. But again, they are obsessed with Donald Trump. Like, my God, I've never seen anybody obsessed with Donald Trump. Like OT are obsessed with trying to win some kind of award for just making little Donald Trump as much as they can. Because there's nothing good about Donald Trump. There's nothing good. Like, compared to what Mihol and Leo's doing, they portrayed Leo and Mihol like heroes. Again, then Donald Trump comes on. Again, I'm not, a few things Donald Trump have said, I agree with a lot of things he does. And agree with some things, and then again, it's the same with everybody. Everybody has their own opinions, everybody has their own political beliefs, but it's down to this. They take the world of Joe Biden, and they wouldn't show anything bad about Joe Biden to save their life. Like, you haven't, the thing about Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House in America, this is going out of topic, I know, but they never talked about an OT, because I would have seen it on my phone because I follow OT on Twitter. Never talked about it. Never said anything about Nancy Pelosi, a Democrat, going into a hair salon, opening the hair salon and walking in, contradicting the wrong thing. And the same with when Leo went to the Phoenix Park. OT never covered it. Russian media covered it. OT didn't cover it. OT, no. That looked very bad. Donald Trump does this, cover that. Fuck Leo. Leo could, no, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. OT be like, we don't want to lose our 50 million in funding. What would we do without that? The TV, half the country doesn't pay the TV license already. It's a great laugh, but anyway, you have to. The only thing you can do in this country is laugh. It's better to laugh than cry. You be honest, because at the end of the day, you might as well laugh at them. You might as well laugh at them. At least you have the upper hand when you laugh at them. But journalists again should be completely independent. Thank you.